I've seen a rat who loved to eat lemon meringue pie with its best friend, who was a hedgehog. And the hedgehog wore a gingham bonnet.
Hello, listeners! Welcome to Season 2, Episode 8 of the Goat American novel, The Russian Revolution. Now, I'm Aaron Alden, your host, here to remind you that this is a serial podcast. You can't just start anywhere, willy-nilly, free as you please. Well, you can, but you will be confused. To be honest, listener, even people listening from the start have a hard time keeping track of all of these characters. It's just that kind of story, and we won't apologize for it. Now, as you can probably tell from the title, The Russian Revolution, this episode is another very special episode. But not because kids of today will learn about the Russian Revolution. In fact, I guarantee they won't learn anything. No, this is a very special episode because it's filled with really special guests. Yes, I know, more characters. Just relax and enjoy the experience. We here at Goat Studio HQ have been planning this episode for a very long time, and we know you're going to love it. Now, Ursula, my regular co-host, has come down with a case of caprine distemper, but they did leave me a coded message containing musical notation, which has taken me 2 hours to decode. So the content warning is, I think, go so ghastly, Billy's a nasty, don't ask me why. And that's it. There's no eyeball violence or anything in this one. Okay, without further ado, please enjoy the episode. It's the Russian Revolution, fam.
While Clover, the boss sheep, was giving Mama Chichi a pep talk in the dark, Sawyer was dragging a very inebriated Liz Oates back out of the pig food and brandy hut for the third time. For the third time, Sawyer put in the extreme exertion and risk to his lower back to haul Liz Oates through the door of the hut. She made a sound like "Bleh," and rolled limply right back over the threshold into the hut.
How are you doing that? Are you laughing at me? Fine.
He raised both hands in the air.
I give up. You win. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Liz Oates seemed to agree.
But I won't see anyone else kidnapped by that snake-snuggling madman.
Liz Oates approved.
I don't care who he's friends with. I'm going to the police.
Bleh! Liz Oates answered, then frisked back to the barrel of fermented cherries and took a drink. Bleh! She bleated, arching one of her sharp, caprine eyebrows at Sawyer. He narrowed his eyes at her, then looked at the barrel. Bleh! She said.
Just one. For courage.
And with a gesture of great determination, he cupped his hands and pulled a mouthful of cherry brandy up.
For courage,
he told her. Bah! She cheered, and he drank. Sawyer felt around in his mouth with his tongue.
Goat hairs. Fine.
Sawyer raised both hands in the air. He was breathing hard. Liz Oates' giggle bleated up at him halfway in and halfway out of the door.
If I just had someone to just even close gates behind me.
Sawyer was soaked to the skin. He had been chasing 7 goats for 4 hours without managing to secure a single one in her stall. He was terrified to face his mother without being able to report success.
Layla,
he said finally.
She certainly proved herself capable today.
He turned away from the goats.
400,000 Usnap followers,
he muttered. He ignored the bleating in the night and walked shivering back to his mother's house. But as he came up the front walk, he was confronted by the wreckage of her rose garden. The denuded stems, each one stripped of every leaf, petal, thorn, glowed like bones under the moon, which was beginning to peek out from behind the receding storm clouds. Sawyer gulped and looked at the front door, imagining Millicent emerging out of it to continue the scream that was surely still raging inside of her, wherever she was.
Maybe I'll just go around to Layla's window.
Sawyer made his way around the side of the house and came to Layla's big window, experiencing a moment of misgiving about waking up an 11-year-old at 3 a.m. But there was nothing for it. He needed help. He tapped gently on her window.
Layla!
He hissed.
Layla!
He grimaced, imagining his sister in a deep sleep, drooling on her pillow, her young brain doing its necessary recharging and growing. He felt guilty.
Layla!
He banged on the window and was surprised to find it move.
It's open? Why is it open? It's cold as hell tonight. Layla?
He pulled the window all the way out and stood on tiptoes to peer in.
Layla, I need your help. I'm sorry to wake you.
Still no answer. He sighed and jumped, hoisting himself up into her window, threw his legs over the sill, and was in. Regretting the mud that he was tracking as he made his way through the pile of cushions and library books, he stage-whispered her name.
Layla?
He came to her bed.
Layla?
Then the moon broke free from the clouds and illuminated Layla's bed. Empty.
My God, the window was open. Scott! I knew it!
His mind wheeled for only a second. His mother was no help. She wouldn't believe him. He couldn't waste his time with her. Approaching Scott's house on his own was a non-starter. It was too big. It was too well defended.
I don't even have any weapons!
He said wildly, imagining himself as a man of action storming the house. But no, he was a man of letters.
I need backup!
He stormed through the house, tracking mud and no longer caring. He had to rescue his sister. In the driveway, his old Volkswagen roared to life. And his headlights illuminated the mist in the darkness.
To the police!
Pigs watched Sawyer storm across the farm, heard the roar of the diesel engine coming to life and then disappearing into the distance. The pigs shared long looks with each other. In the distance, from various directions, they heard goats giggling, goats bleating, a human child roaring, screams, the sound of a man screaming as he fell through space, the sound of a valiant bleat, the sounds of glass smashing. "Strange night," offered one pig. "Why are we still awake?" asked another. "Everyone's awake. I don't think one single goat is in her pen. I even saw a sheep out in it. I saw a human child out in the night. Everyone's awake. Everyone's out in it. Do you think this is?" The pigs all turned their watchful eyes over to the unlatched gate. They felt the strange, sleepless chill of the night. They recalled the gesture of Sawyer, first reaching to lock their gate, but instead closing his hand into a fist and merely rapping on the unlatched barrier. They recalled the look in his eyes in that rare moment of his silence. They all remembered of it, and the eeriness of it pulled shivers from their bristly spines. "Yes," the big sow answered. "Tonight is the Russian Revolution." One by one, the pigs allowed their gazes to travel out beyond the gate. They looked beyond FM's hedges of vines and canes to the huge house, eerily luminous itself. The house, so they had been told, of beds and daily donut deliveries. Lights of different colors glowed in several of the windows, but no curtains drifted, no friendly shadows moved within, no FM radio squawked, no laughter reached them from a distant window left carelessly open. The pigs moved towards the gate. "The lights are on, but nobody's home. offered one pig softly. The lights are on, but nobody's home is just an extremely human-sounding thing to say, observed the other. Well, I suppose we're all flirting with becoming the oppressor, the big sow said as she moved through the gate. The other pigs followed soundlessly, leaving the comfort of their mud wallow empty behind them, their eyes guiding them to the strange blue and red glows in the windows of the big new house. Goatko should have been able to return to his unearthly slumbers. What with Pearl rescued, the cabin window closed, the squirrel ejected, and Layla on the case of the rescue mission. But, listener, he was as surprised as you will be to find himself hovering in the damp night, out on the very boundary of his former territory, on the potholed road leading away from the Four Farms neighborhood. What now? The answer came in the form of a raggedy voice, singing.
Uptown goat, you know I can't afford to buy oats, but maybe someday in the great grain bin, she'll understand what kind of buck I am.
Goatko sniffed the air. Garfield, preserve me! What in the name of clumping clay is that smell?
Little pigs, rooster tails, molasses out in grain pails, horseshoes, cow moos, chickens got the stinky poos, we didn't birth the farmer.
A beam of moonlight cut through the dispersing rain clouds and illuminated the coat of a goat with bristly fur the color of the driven snow, a pair of enormous cracked horns, and a stained beard which reached down to the arthritic knees which propelled the animal slowly up the road.
Give us some hay, you're the farmer man. Give us some hay tonight. Oh, hello there. Why, there's something strange about that barn cat, wouldn't you say, Apple Strudel?
Strange? Excuse me? My mother taught me not to make personal comments. And just who or what is Apple Strudel?
Oh, I forgot. I left Apple Strudel back in the paddock. Well, hello, barn cat. I've never seen a blue one before. I say, Kitty, can you show me the way to a goat barn? I believe it's somewhere about here.
Goatko's tail twitched. Oh, of course. Very good, sir. I'm at your service, sir. It's me, Cat Ghost Concierge. Can I get you anything, sir? Fresh hot towels to wash your stinking beard, maybe? Nonetheless, Goatko found himself turning to walk back, as he had done so many times in life, to FM's barn.
Onward, Kitty. Show the way. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep.
Do all billies smell this bad? Goatko wondered. Listener, they do. Just moments after Sawyer's old diesel Volkswagen roared off down the road, Mama Chichi vaulted off Clover's back and went flying through Arcturix's bedroom window to come crashing through the glass and land on the blanket fort, or, excuse me, Blanca Ford. Bah! Mangoat screamed as the great noise, and then the something heavy, also pointy, crashed right down on top of the blanket fort. Tiger! Screamed Arcturix upon waking, and he began writhing to get out from under the great warm weight with its 4 sharp points, which had collapsed the blanket fort on top of him. Bah! Came a voice from the other side of the blankets, and Mangoat called back. Bah! Mom! Is that you? Ma! Came the reply, a deeply tender, full-throated bleat. The bleat Mangoat knew best. Mom! Mom! Auntie Chichi! Dandy joined in. Our queen! your mom. Your queen mom has come for us. Arcturix, meanwhile, had scrambled, grabbed the weapons closest at hand, a camping lantern and the hatchet, and he was screaming and thrashing them under the blankets, whacking at the tiger on top of him. Ow! Who hit me? Was that the little human rascal? Meh! Mangoat bleated to Arcturix with such calm entreaty that he was still long enough to listen for the fearful tiger on top of him. Boo! Said the tiger. Oh, he looked at Mangoat. Is that your mom? Mom! Mom! Mangoat yelled, Dandy joining in. Auntie! Auntie! With a mighty dig-in of her hooves, Mama Chichi jumped off of the blanket fort. Arcturix threw the wreckage of blankets aside, and his lantern illuminated the great mother goat, warmly sniffing and licking both kids. A smashed-open window and glass shards everywhere. Mom! Mom! Mangoat flew to her mother's side and began suckling the delicious warm milk without stopping talking. Mom! Mom! I never thought I'd see you again. We're a team now, Mom, and we learned Gadap, which means you get to take everyone's favorite foods. Also, teams battle tigers, which is a real bad type of chupacabra. Mangoat, is it just the two of you in here? Have you seen your sisters? Yes, ma'am, Dandy answered. Our sisters are trapped in the old fallen-down barn past FM's house. Yeah, Mom, with the tiger, which is a real bad type of chupacabra because it has stripes, see? But Silver told me to lick it good, and I smashed one of its heads. Is Silver alive? Is my goatina alive? Well, ma'am, they were alive when we saw them. It was hours ago now. When we were there, that tiger couldn't get up to them. They were trapped up pretty high. Yeah, and Arky battled it in that dark cave of treasures, and he got us out alive. With the goat cart. And teams pull carts, Mom, and that's my destiny now. And all I eat is sweet cereal. We've got to go and rescue them, Auntie Chichi. We got to, but we've been trapped in this room the whole time. And Mom, Arky knows how to do anything with ropes. Wait, Mom, didn't you rescue our sisters and Minerva already? No! Mama Chichi and Dandy both answered. Well, bah! We gotta get out and rescue them. Bah! Bah! Yeah, we really do! Dandy joined in. Arcturix, who had watched this reunion a little awkwardly with his hatchet in his hand, caught Mangoat's eye. Are you? Well, I guess you're telling your mom about the tiger and everything. Bah! Both kids screamed back, and Arcturix gulped on the question he'd been avoiding. Is it your friends trapped up in there with it? Bah! Screamed both kids. Then Mama Chichi looked very seriously at him with her most serious Herd Queen face. Buh! So I guess your mom wants you to go and rescue them, Arky said. And both little goats, his team, lunged against the restraints that had held them in his room. Bah! Arky gulped and nodded sadly. Well, okay, I understand. It's probably really the right thing for you to do. Buh! Mama Chichi repeated, looking with urgency at the window and her kids. Well, Arky said, it was really, really nice having you as my team today. And he knelt down at the ropes.
Arky? Arky? The man is screaming again.
Came a sleepy voice from down the hall. Mangoat screamed.
It's coming from your room.
No, Mom. You're probably definitely sleepwalking.
Nonsense, Arky. I'm coming in there.
No, Mom. Bah! Mama Chichi answered him again, her gentle, urgent bleat cutting through the chaos.
I'm coming in.
Millicent shrieked again, rattling at the door.
Arky, if you won't let me in, I'm going to kick this door down.
Arcturix's hatchet sliced through the air and cut clean the ropes which had tied the goats to the bed. Go, he told them sadly. Go. Mama Chichi and Dandy needed no encouragement. They bounded neatly onto the bed and sproinged out the broken window and into the night. But Mangoat stood where she was, her brown ears flopping as she looked from her mother's retreating back to Arcturix and back to the gaping window and back to Arcturix again. Go, he whispered. Bah! No, Goaty, I don't have any more sweet cereal, he said, stroking her muzzle. Bah! No, I don't have any yams either. You should go with your mom. Mangoat lay her cheek on his palm and looked up at him sideways, her eyes full of something. You want to stay with me, Goaty? At that moment, Millicent's legs, strong from hours of garden squats, kicked the door open.
Screaming man, show yourself.
She howled. Then she saw the goat.
What was this? Archie, your window! The glass is smashed! And this goat? Explain yourself.
Well, Mom, you see.
Have you been keeping this creature in here all day? Is this the famous missing kid?
Well, no, Mom, it wasn't. You see, Mom.
And it broke your window.
Well, Mom.
You let it out to eat my roses. How could you?
No, Mom, it didn't eat your roses.
Put it out.
Millicent screamed, striding across the room. She reached for Mangoat, wrapped her strong gardener's arms around, and lifted her right up. Bah!
Screaming like a man all day, driving me insane.
Then she marched the 2 short steps over to the window and shoved Mangoat through it, dropping her to the lawn below. Mom!
You can't sleep in here tonight, Archie. You'll catch your death of cold, and there's broken glass everywhere. Go to your sister's room. We'll talk in the morning.
Millicent stormed out. Arcturus stood, chin quivering. He wiped at his tears, but there was no stopping them. Mom! He cried, but she didn't come back. He gulped and walked over to where his stuffed tiger, pork rinds, lay. He would take it to have someone warm to snuggle in Layla's room. Layla always hogged all the blankets. He looked down at his favorite little stuffy. Well, this is terrible. I'm frightened of you now. Then the sound of a man screaming came through his window. He trotted over to it and looked down. Mangoat alone waited underneath his window and screamed up at him again, her eyes still full of the something. Goaty! Bah! Called Mama Chichi from a little further away. Goaty, your mom is waiting for you. Mangoat trotted a few steps away, but turned back. Bah! Oh, Goaty, you want me to come? Bah! Arcturus looked out, beyond Mangoat to her mother and to Dandy. You're going to face the tiger? To rescue your family? Well, you're my team. I'm really scared, but I probably definitely should go with you. Bah! Mama Chi answered. Oh, okay, just give me 1 second. Arcturus ran through his room. He grabbed his largest backpack and threw things in it. I don't know what I'll need. I have to be quick. Okay, rope, another rope, machete. It's really good my mom doesn't know I have this. Lantern, He opened the drawer which housed his pocket knife and match collection and dumped it in. He hesitated. Maybe a pulley? Another rope to go with the pulley? And I wish I had a big net. Bah! I'm coming! With that, Arcturus slung on his backpack, climbed off his bed, and jumped out his window and joined his team in the night. Goatko Ono was dozing in her stall. She was dreaming of Ruby Onehorn. She'd been dreaming of her more often lately, and she knew what that meant. When Goatko Ono had been just a kid, the firstborn on FM's farm, there had been an old queen up the road, Josephine Baker. And Josephine Baker had taken the young Goatko under her wing so many summers ago. And she'd told her the stories of Ruby, and told her to keep Ruby's legend alive. Told her that when an old queen began to dream of Ruby, that queen's time on this earth was coming to an end.
And I intend to eat here for the longest time. For the longest time.
Ruby, keep it down, she muttered.
Is that her?
The voice answered.
Is that my angel speaking?
Goatko Ono opened her eyes.
What in the wild mountain time? That smells like...
She sniffed. There was a strange blue light in the passageway. She squinted.
Quiet down, blue light. I'm trying to see if my nose is deceiving me. Why? Could it possibly be FM's always kept them away before? Just the scent of a Billy ruins the cheese, she always said. No, it couldn't possibly.
Give us some hay, oh, the farmer man.
Rang out a voice from just outside her stall.
Give us some hay tonight.
My stars! How in the name of Gruff did he get in here?
The old white bearded goat stepped into her stall, preceded by the ghostly blue form of a cat who floated awkwardly in space. Hello, Goatko thought, finding himself once again unable to blink out of existence and thereby thrust into yet another awkward social situation. So, what's this, an episode of the Golden Goats? But the old goats had only eyes for one another.
Goatko Ono, it really is you.
Goatko Ono's old fur bristled.
You old rascal!
Do you recognize me then, Goatko? It's me, Billy Joel.
I wonder if Minerva actually, ran off to join, a circus or something. I don't really think... I know, Rafaela finished for Stephanie. Minerva is not made for the life of a nanny. Rafaela and Stephanie were walking back from their hideout at Millicent's hayloft. They'd left by mutual agreement as they were bored from not having been bothered by Sawyer for some time now. I mean, I like to think she's protecting your sister somewhere, but who knows? Minerva? She's not like other goats. I know. Hey, what's that? Both yearlings stopped straight, alert, right outside the goat barn.
Do you remember when I first saw you?
How could I forget? You threw yourself off the roof.
I'd never seen a pair of ears as long as yours.
That sounds like some kind of a... Billy! They both yelled and tramped into the barn. Goatko Ono was there, still wearing her white lace corset. And with her was an extremely elderly goat who, though they had never seen one, was undoubtedly of the male persuasion. And he was whispering in Goatko Ono's ear. "Oh my goat," Stephanie said, taking in the scene. Grandma? Rafaela began. Who? Grandma has a boyfriend?
Oh, don't be ridiculous,
Goatko Ono said, then chortled at something. The Billy had said it underneath the hearing of the young goats.
A billy goat can't be said to be anyone's boyfriend, and anyway, nanny goats don't take on boyfriends.
To the eternal heartbreak of us Billies.
The Billy broke in, and then he went back to whispering in Goatko's ear.
Oh, you nasty thing. Get your beard off my fur. It smells to high heaven.
I pee on it every day,
the Billy told her. TMI, Goatko said from where he floated in the corner, but no one heard this except you, listener. No one was paying the ghost cat any mind. They were all focused on...
Girls, this is Billy Joel.
The yearlings stared back at him. So, Rafaela said, this is what Billies are like? And, oh my goat, what is going on here? Stephanie had caught the sight of Goatko, who was still trying and failing to figure out what muscle to flex to return to the great beyond. Is that a demon? You guys, there's totally a cat demon in here. Can anyone else see him?
Oh, that's no demon,
Billy Joel said.
That's just a harmless old ghost of a barn cat. He helped bring me here.
Grandma's boyfriend? Do you know stuff about ghosts?
Well, of course I do. I live with a retired horse, you see, named Apple Strudel, and a little girl named June comes every day to braid Apple Strudel's mane and tail. And this little girl, she's a great fan of U-Snap. Paranormal U-Snap.
Here comes one of Grandma's boyfriend's long, boring stories, Rafaela muttered. I know, right? We just met him, but you can totally tell that he just goes on and on.
Girls, show Billy Joel some respect, or I'll knock you into next Tuesday, and don't think I won't.
Billy Joel was unperturbed.
This little girl who comes to braid Apple Strudel's mane and tail, well, she has a block of wood, you see, and, well, in fact, that's how I came to see you, Goatko Ono. This afternoon, it was the strangest thing.
Flashbacks, 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 flashbacks.
There, Apple Strudel. Now your mane is in an Appaloosa updo, and your tail in a classic pinto ponytail with a French twist,
said June, the neighborhood girl, several hours before.
Nay,
said Apple Strudel. The retired horse, with her hair now in beautiful braids, worked her big horse nose towards June's pockets. Now, this flashback scene was taking place, by the way, at a farm which the animals all thought was terribly far away, but which was in fact less than half a mile down the road.
Oh, Apple Strudel, yes, I brought you some nice alfalfa cookies.
nay.
Yes, I brought some for Billy Joel, too. Here, Billy Joel, come have some alfalfa cookies.
Apple Strudel and Billy Joel came on either side of June and accepted their alfalfa cookies and settled in for their favorite part of the afternoon. June, the neighborhood girl, took out her own block of wood.
I've got some really special U-Snap videos for you two today. The first one is a baby raccoon who thinks a turtle is its mother, and it rides around on the turtle's shell. And this one is a wiener dog who likes to ride on a skateboard.
Excuse me, what? Rafaela broke into the flashback scene.
Yes, exactly what I was thinking. What are you talking about?
That sounds unnatural.
Oh, not at all. I've seen many wonderful things on the U-Snap. I've seen a rat who loved to eat lemon meringue pie with its best friend, who was a hedgehog. And the hedgehog wore a gingham bonnet and smoked a candy cigarette in a little silver filigreed cigarette holder.
Grandma's boyfriend, I have read great works of literature, and even I don't know what half of those words mean. Anyway, I thought you were saying that this little girl watched Ghost U-Snap on her block of wood?
Well, humans on the internet have diverse interests. The algorithms, you see. Take my farmer. He likes to watch videos about canning fish and about exploring medieval sewer systems and about squashing cans of paint with the hydraulic press.
Grandma's boyfriend's mind is wandering.
So this June, you see, she likes videos about the paranormal, but she also likes to show us videos of extraordinary animals. There was this elephant, you see, who was a painter. She painted with the little brush held in her trunk.
Fascinating, Goatko Ono answered. What did the elephant paint?
And more importantly, was the elephant a ghost?
She painted a lady dancing in a beautiful red dress.
Exquisite.
Grandma's boyfriend? Can we please get back to the point?
Oh, yes, yes.
Flashbacks. Flashbacks.
Now, Billy Joel.
June, the little girl said after they'd watched the video about the baby raccoon and its turtle mother.
I saved this one especially for you. It's the greatest Usenet video of all time, and it's about goats.
And then June, the neighborhood girl, and Apple Strudel the horse and her great friend, Billy Joel, watched the live-streamed video of the barnyard make of the music video for Truth Hurts, the greatest Usenet video of all time. Then June, the little girl, gave each animal.
Here's one last alfalfa cookie for you, Apple Strudel, and one more for Billy Joel, and a cube of sugar each.
And she packed her hairbrushes and her block of wood back in her backpack.
Goodbye, Apple Strudel. Goodbye, Billy Joel.
And rode off on her bicycle, leaving Billy Joel visibly shaken.
Well, I never thought she'd top the quarter horse quaff, but this Appaloosa updo really highlights my aquiline nose. Don't you think, Billy Joel? And how about that little dachshund? That was quite something. I was worried that with those short little legs, he'd fall right off when he went to pedal that contraption. But, Billy Joel? Why, Billy Joel, didn't the alfalfa agree with you?
No, of course not, Apple Strudel. It was delicious. But listen, I know one of the goats in that video. It must have been 12 years since I last saw her. But there she was, in her white lace finery, the love of my life.
Well, bless my tail, Billy Joel. Do you really think it could be a goat you know? There's a lot of goats in this wide world.
Oh, I know her anywhere. She's got a constellation of white spots on her left ear in the shape of a blackberry, and an unusual scar on her starboard udder. And speaking of a lot of goats in the wide world, Strudel, who were all those little goats around her? Do you suppose? Where did they come from?
Well, Billy Joel, don't be daft. If she's who you say she is, those are your daughters and granddaughters.
What do you mean by that?
Galloping Gertie, don't males of any species know anything about foals and lambs and chicks and things?
Well, what about them? Where do they come from?
The conversation that followed then is beyond the scope of this podcast, but it left Billy Joel stunned.
So you mean to say,
he said, after Apple Strudel had explained the birds and the billies to him,
that my darling Goatko had 4 little hooves?
In my understanding, with a goat, it's usually 8 or 12 or 16.
16 little hooves, kicking her from inside all winter long?
And you just get to run around the pasture showing off. That's right, Billy Joel.
Well, in the name of Bill Grogan's goat, I've got to go see her. And
thank her.
Yes.
Billy Joel, I'm going to stand here by this mounting block for you, right here by the gate. And normally, I would find it very impertinent if you were to do this sort of thing. But just this once, since there is a lady involved, I'm going to let you climb onto my back and jump over the fence. Now, don't break those old knees of yours. Do you think you'll be able to find her?
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Billy Joel, you've been my best friend for 6 winters. When I go to bed tonight, I will wish upon my lucky horseshoe for success in your journey.
Flashback concluded. Ooley ooley oo. Flashback concluded. Ooley ooley oo. Flashback concluded.
But in the end, it was this ghostly barn cat who guided me.
Billy Joel concluded, gazing lovingly at the constellation of spots on Goatko Ono's ear in the shape of a blackberry.
And I suppose that's the whole story.
You old so-and-so, Goatko Ono began, but Stephanie interrupted. Excuse me? That's not the whole story? Not at all?
Oh, well, what were we talking about? Did you want me to sing you a song or something?
You were going to tell us about the paranormal. Like about how this demon or ghost cat came to guide you and whether he's benevolent or malevolent and how to exorcise him. And does poetry even work on the super romantical or what? Gratso, who had found the entire flashback episode quite nauseating, once again found himself in the uncomfortable spotlight of mortal attention.
Well, I don't know about any of that, granddaughter. But he's a good old sport. He's probably just come topside to guide me on my mission of romance.
Ah, yes, goat romance. The most revolting, ghostly mission of them all, Gratso thought. So, what do we do, Grandma's boyfriend? How do we banish him? He's just floating in the air like that? What are the bees even supposed to fly out of? Does this little girl have a Usnap video about that?
Oh, what? No. He's a friendly spirit. A friendly spirit needs only the ritual permission of the living to depart. We can just let him know he's not needed anymore. But
with a little ceremony,
Goatko Ono suggested, peering at the blue cat.
Yes, a spot of love poetry ought to do the trick.
Poetry? You know about poetry, Grandpa?
Why, sure. Let's see, I think I knew one.
He stared at Goatko Ono.
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways.
Well, bite me on the tail, Gratso thought as he blinked out of existence. It worked. FM narrowed her eyes and leaned forwards on the table at the karaoke bar, which was sticky with old drinks. So, something tells me that you all came here to do more than just protest that circus. FM's new friends looked at each other, and she pretended to look at the karaoke while they entered a huddle to whisper to each other. She assumed about her trustworthiness. Someone was on the stage singing a song about heroes. We can be heroes. And FM thought once more of her animals. Of all animals. Of the wretched animals she had seen in the roadside circus. She took a heavy breath and placed a hand over her heart, where it seemed a small radiant crystal lived. A crystal like the ones they put inside radios to help catch the frequencies of the invisible songs in the air. FM took a glance at the group of young people across the table from her, talking to one another with purpose and sensitivity, stealing glances at her. The song about the heroes rose, and it filled FM up, rose up her spine and saturated her cells. She looked at the quietest young woman, the one she knew was the leader of the group, and waited, silent and still. She felt herself being filled with resolve for whatever was to come. The young woman listened to the last words of her compatriots, nodded to them, and leaned forward. No, we didn't just come to protest that circus. FM took the young woman's hands in her own strong, tanned, calloused ones. So, what's the plan? And how's it going? The quiet young woman pursed her lips, and a frustrated chuff came out her nose. We ran into a problem. Kind of a big one. FM locked her sky blue eyes with the young woman's brown ones. She leaned as close to the woman as the table would permit and didn't let go of eye contact. Well, you have a farmer in your corner now, and we farmers are very good at dealing with whatever problems come up. Well, something, wasn't it? Listeners, when I was a little kindergartner, there was a Billy at our house named Thunder. He was a Saanen Billy, which means he was all white, except for his beard, of course. He was all white, and he had stick-up ears and a very nice beard and little wattles. And if you don't know what wattles look like on a goat, well, you should look them up sometime because he was just a lovely fellow. And I used to. Well, at the time, I was really obsessed with The Sleeping Beauty and Tchaikovsky's music in The Sleeping Beauty. And Tchaikovsky, of course, is a composer who has worked on this podcast. And I liked to pet Thunder and sing to him from The Sleeping Beauty. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Anyways, I'm pleased to report that the real live ghost of Thunder was channeled and performed the role of Billy Joel in this episode. This episode also features guest stars. Well, in fact, the Real FM played the role of Apple Strudel, and you can puzzle that out yourselves. Yes, the Real Life FM played Apple Strudel, and the real life little girl named June played the little girl named June. That's June Heggarty. Thank you so much to all three of our guest stars on this episode. This episode also had a guest writer, a star guest writer, Myra Grass. Myra Grass, host of This American Goat, you want to know, conceived of, dreamed up, cast, conjured up, everything to do with Billy Joel. So thank you to Myra Grass for that beautiful addition to this story. This episode was made very special by the work of all of these people. As usual, Caleb Alden and Gabriel Alden just putting in their excellent work. And I hope you recognize the screams from last episode of Ursula Bucher and Johnny Bucher. They also enriched our work this week. The studio was also really enriched to have Erin Alden, one of our co-hosts, back this week. Isn't her singing voice beautiful? Well, these credits are getting long. I'm going to go throw myself in a lake. Maybe 2 lakes, actually. I hope to have swum in 2 lakes, the ocean, and what the heck, a river, before you hear from me next. So it might be a little bit longer before the next episode gets out. I love you all. I hope you're on vacation. I hope you're re-listening to the whole podcast on a road trip with your family. Tell another family so they can listen on a road trip. HMS out!